Looks like we are good to go. Woo! Welcome back,
Yay.
guys. Welcome to another edition of the Narik Chase channel. I'm your boy Narik Chase, and in this video, we're going to be discussing another great video or edition, or you know, video edition
Yeah.
of Breaking the Base, episode 138. And in this one, we're coming at you again with another interesting post that we've seen on Reddit. Not Reddit, Screen Rant concerning Once Upon a Time. And this one is called 12 New Character Additions That Hurt Once Upon a Time and 13 That Saved It. Um, so I'm going to go ahead and let Madam B, who's joined me again, bring up the subjects on this, and we'll definitely talk about it. So without further ado, and plus I forgot to put the link in this right here, so I have to find it and put the link in it now.
Okay. Well, if you've watched Once Upon a Time like we have, you have seen characters come and go, characters that needed to stay, and then characters that needed to go, characters that didn't even need to be up in the show. So, we're just going to go down the list, and then we'll give you our thoughts. Are you ready? Alright. Character. We're starting at 25. And they said is what saved it is Balefire.
Has he saved it?
Yes.
How can you say that when you didn't do nothing?
True.
Like, he would have been a very interesting character to actually follow, especially concerning who his father is and a relationship there, which they did start on, and they started developing, but they end up just cutting it out. Like, he's what could have been, but sadly wasn't fully realized.
It's like he didn't take after Rumple at all.
Mm-mm.
They didn't make it seem like he just, because even when he was a kid, you know, after Rumple had become Dark One, it was just nothing. He wanted his dad to do right. And then after he went through the hole, it was still the same thing. And so I don't see how that they said Bellfire was the reason for almost everything that Rumpelstiltskin did.
Yeah, and like I said, it's interesting that they would. It's like a good thing that they played it off like that. But the problem with it was it didn't feel fleshed out enough. Even though it was, it's weird describing it.
Mm.
It's weird describing it. Okay, on Rumple's side, it was fleshed out. On his side, it wasn't, because
we just
a bit of development, but on Neil's side, there was no development. There was no real actual arc. The only purpose that his character served in this whole series, fortunately, was connecting Rumpelstiltskin to the other protagonists. That's it.
and they said after he sacrificed himself to save his father, Emma went on to name her second son after him.
I think, yeah, they did do that. I think, yeah, they did do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, that's
I don't know.
I guess.
Who's like, you ain't finna name my. What's wrong with you, girl?
Oops, wrong hand.
Okay.
I'm on the fence about that one, because I did like the character. He just didn't get enough. He didn't do enough. He didn't have enough to do.
Okay, this is what hurt it. Prince Philip. I really did not. I'm looking at him like, okay, who?
I don't want to say it hurt it, but not every character that they're going to bring into the series is going to have this big drawn out character development.
Mm-hmm.
And he was one of those characters that was like, okay, it was cool that he was in there, but he really.
But he was only there because of Aurora.
Yeah, and she hardly, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was cool seeing her, but it wasn't like they did anything that actually had something to do with the main story.
Mm-hmm.
So I ain't gonna say it hurt it per se. Just useless. I mean, he was just there. He was just there. Not saying it was bad.
It said Prince Philip was only on the series to become Aurora's intended. In the end, though, his pregnancy did nothing more than hurt Aurora's character development. Mulan was in love with Aurora, so let's just say he wasn't on there. Would they have Mulan and Aurora get together? I wonder that.
No, see, this is what I'm thinking. Aurora really didn't have a big role like that anyway.
No, she didn't.
So how can his role hurt her role when she hardly had a role? Now, if she actually had a solid story that connected with the main story, because yes, she did have.
They just said what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted Aurora and Mulan to be together. But they said Prince Philip heard it.
It hurt that story, yeah. But you got to realize, Aurora is what, Sleeping Beauty,
Yeah.
and what incarnation was she gay? And her whole Aurora's whole story is some prince trying to save her.
Exactly.
So it's like, but I can understand what you're saying because of the companionship and stuff that they went through.
Mm-hmm.
My thing with that was Mulan was in love with Aurora, but wasn't she with Prince Philip first?
Yeah, that's what it was all about for her. She was there to find Prince Philip.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's like, so how did Mulan hurt that when it was already established that those two were together?
Okay. They said Captain Hook saved it.
Mm-mm. Captain Hook heard it by the amount of times they saved Hook.
That's a good one.
He was a great character, but the problem is he kept bringing him back.
Mm-hmm.
They kept saving him. They kept giving his character shots. But there were other people that deserved a shot. And it's like, no. Like I said, Hook was a very likable character. In fact, he's one of my favorite characters. But if you can write Robin out, you know what I'm saying? If you can write out Ruby and give her that BS ending, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, but the whole Captain Hook thing, look, they just kept bringing him back. That's my thing. Like, after the first time they saved him, sure. Second time,
I can see where you're going with that. He wasn't just eye candy. He was also a character that had a chance at redemption by falling in love with Emma Swan. But the whole reason why he was in there was to, as he called it, the crocodile, was to kill Rumpelstiltskin, which I guess they squashed it.
even though that didn't never really seem like it got resolved. Because not once did he ever say, "I'm sorry that I stole your wife. You know, I enticed your wife to leave you and your son, and therefore helped ruin your life, which therefore brought you back towards me, and killing her in front of me and cutting off my hand, which therefore ruined my life. But that's one thing I'm letting you know now. I am your goddaughter-in-law, whatever it is."
Oh my goodness.
But like I said, I liked him, but he was one of those characters like he should have been there 2-3 seasons and then died off.
Yeah, he said he also had a double from an alternate universe that redeemed himself by finding his daughter Alice.
I think they did mention something about he had a daughter.
Don't get me wrong. I don't know.
I don't know about this double. No, also, wait. Was that the Wish though? No, not the Wish realm. I don't know. I don't know.
They said bringing the Mad Hatter in hurt it.
The only way I say it hurt it because of how short his storyline was.
Right, because we all know that, like they said, the Mad Hatter is Wonderland. If we Mad Hatter, Wonderland, Alice, so they didn't go into that.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest problems I had. It goes back to what I was saying about Oz. They introduced those worlds, but they did not fully flesh them out.
Right.
So, like, maybe, and of course I'm branching off, of course, but what if the Red Queen was planning to invade Storybrooke? Never got a chance.
That would have been actually good.
Same thing with the Wizard of Oz. So, but as far as the Hatter being a problem, no, I like the Hatter. He was one of the favorite
He
characters.
got a little busy working for Marvel.
Man, that does suck.
Okay. They said what saved it is Alice, Hyperion Heights.
Oh, that's season 7.
So we're not going to.
We're not talking about season 7 because we ain't seen it. So, Alice, you were just saved.
Ooh. Face.
I do, I do, I do, I
I
do.
do. I do. Okay. They said what hurt it was Gideon,
Yes, it is.
which Gideon is um, Rumple and Belle's son. And it did kind of throw me for a loop because as soon as they put their, what did they do with their baby?
No,
Belle.
Belle
Yeah,
tried to get him away from
she gave him
him.
to the blue fairy, and all of a sudden, whoosh, there he is, grown as fuck.
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, yeah, but you know,
The problem with Gideon
give
was
it a little
this.
time.
The problem with Gideon is this. He was controlled. He wasn't like raised. Like if the Black Fairy wanted him to. Prime example. Have you ever seen Power Rangers? I'm trying to think of which one it was. There was this villain named Andromeda or something like that.
Mm.
She was raised by the villain of the series. So all she knew was bad stuff. All she knew how to do was be evil and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now she did end up having to develop an art to trying to overcoming that after she found out the truth of her story. You know, back problem with this is he don't get that same chance. He's like good, but the problem is he's being controlled.
By the Black Fairy.
That's a problem. It would have been better if the whole time she groomed him to be evil.
Mm-hmm.
He was evil. Now the duality of his life comes into play when he gets to Storybrooke, finds out who his mom is, finds out who his dad is. Then you can see some kind of confliction there.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, he's not one thing. He's not doing anything. Because I think it was one time he fought Emma and beat her, but he was like, he's not going to kill her that night.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? Just you're gonna do it, do it.
And she been having dreams and crap about somebody killing her. And
Yeah,
so.
and like I said, he has an interesting story that should have been told right, but the whole thing with him being controlled and he's like, you know what I'm saying, the Black Fairy controlling him.
Yeah, it made him weak.
Yeah, it made him a weak character instead of having his loyalty tested through actually treating him right. Because and another thing about it is this: why was he the only kid that grew up to be this badass warrior? She took all those kids.
True.
So yeah. She what does it say? She darkened his heart. He became one of the weakest villains to walk the streets of Storybrooke. His heart was not darkened, not even a sliver.
Okay.
I liked Cruella on this one because she was ruthless. She killed. She was about that life.
Mm-hmm.
She was manipulative. She was the most manipulative one, and even I liked her abilities, her ability,
Mm-hmm.
and how it even got turned on one of the more powerful characters. Because remember, Maleficent turned into that dragon was gonna kill her,
Mm-hmm.
and what she do? Like, I control animals. And she turned the tables on her.
Okay.
Like, yeah. I really did like her. I know she got those really thick, like, eyebrows. I don't understand what
I
that
probably
is.
painted on.
But I actually like that. I like her character.
What about her? You know, when they did the flashback to her upbringing and stuff like that.
Even with that,
And the author.
like even with her, she legitimately was like a bad guy character.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't really like. Yes, she had a messed up childhood, but she was generally like a bad guy. Wasn't no tragic character. She was like an actual bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I that's why I did like her character. That's season 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
It was
Lucy,
Lucy,
who is Henry's daughter. Is it?
So we're just going to table that.
Yes, she did. The next one up on our list is Zelina, and I really enjoyed her character. The storyline I really like, and I love the origin of her too, and the reason why she is the way she is, the color and everything, because it actually makes sense. I mean,
Or she's just jealous, envy,
yeah,
envy.
and I like the whole definitions that she has for like being evil and being wicked. I like that. She's like, I'm not evil, I'm wicked. But I really did enjoy her, the way she even played off Oz, the relationship that she had with Regina's character.
Yeah, and they said she could, you know how, you put let's just say you put Emma, what's Snow and Regina, like in line. Who's gonna stand out the most? Regina.
Hmm.
But they say that she, Zelena, stood out, even placed beside Regina. She did. I mean, just look at her. She just oozes wicked witch.
Now, I will say this: when I first saw the character, not the Wicked Witch persona, because I
Mm-hmm.
like that. Now, the Zelina persona, I was like, eh. But as the series continued, I was like, you know what? I actually do like her character.
Mm-hmm.
I actually do, because it's great seeing. It was great seeing Regina having to deal with becoming good, and then same thing with her. I don't know, something clicking over there. I'm about to run over there and punch it. We hit it again. Y'all gonna see me jump up out the seat, go hit some slamming. But
Okay.
yeah, go ahead and keep talking about it.
All right. This might be 7. Uh, Doctor. I think this might be 7. So we're gonna, because I can't.
Wait. Gotham.
Yeah,
I don't
I can't
know.
get her. I can get her name in my head. So we're gonna table Gothel again for now, and we're going on to a save.
Yeah, that clicking thing over there got us like looking crazy. So, uh, but anyways, Robin Hood. Robin Hood was quite literally one of the best characters. Guy had personality. He was smooth. He was suave. He was great. He had a lot of depth. He brought some humor. I love the arc that he had with Regina and how that helped to solidify her as a character and what the potential arc was for her character. She was Robin Hood was probably one of the best male. Huh? Oh, that all
In,
right. We're gonna see what's up.
anyway,
But yeah, Robin Hood was definitely one of the best characters, and it sucked what happened to him.
it really did.
That was an injustice. It really did.
Like after all of that and all what he been through, she been through, they just threw him out.
That's why I said this whole series they really did not like a character.
uh, okay. See, yes.
Another Rapunzel,
And
yeah,
her daughters.
season 7. So okay, we can't go. We can't talk about that.
All right, we're on to a save. It's Mulan.
Mulan. I really enjoy. She was one of my favorite characters as well.
Mm-hmm.
My only issue with Mulan is she kept coming in and out. So and then every time she was on the scene, it was always a quest. It was not like a major arc. It wasn't like some big bad like Genghis Khan showed up.
Right, and like she wasn't, like in her mind it was all about, quest, battle, war. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It's not like, hey, what do you want, like as a person? But she always had a much bigger goal.
And I think another thing that a problem I had with not her character because I really enjoy the character.
Hmm.
She's always reduced to supporting. She never had anything main going for her. Yes, we did get to see a little bit of a backstory, but there was like not no uh, a major story. It was
Well,
my,
she helped train Marita Brave.
yeah, yeah, but even still, but it wasn't like a major
Yeah,
story
that's what I
arc.
meant.
Because think about it, Jasmine got a story arc.
Right, Jasmine.
And even it wasn't even that good. But yeah, I really enjoyed Mulan. I thought the girl that played her was freaking phenomenal. So thumbs up to her. One of the best characters, and one of the most. And I agree with it. Most underrated because she was.
Mm-hmm. How did Peter Pan hurt the series?
I don't think he did. But my thing, like I said on the other video, Peter Pan didn't do much.
Hmm.
And yes, he comes back. He does. He does. His story doesn't end when you think it does.
Yeah, it's like his story was bogged down with so much baggage that instead of a happy flying boy, he was more of a grumpy old man trapped in a boy's body.
So I don't want to see no happy flying boy. If I want to see that, I go watch Peter Pan, the
True,
2003
that's how.
three movie.
Yeah.
They twisted. Come on now, come on now. Let's not do that. I mean, he's a villain. I kind of like the. I like the fact that he was a villain. I liked it. He was cool, but like I said again, my only issue with him was he didn't really do anything. And next one is Merida from the movie Brave, which I have not seen that movie, but I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I actually liked her character, but I didn't like the fact that she was controlled too. Like, who was it that was controlling her? Was it the evil Regina,
Let's see.
or was it Hades?
It didn't say, but not it don't say right here, but
And even and her story is kind of like Mulan's to me. She was a supporting character, nothing major. She and yes, I like the fact that in the movie it was like the movie Brave. They said because she was a woman, she couldn't do what they could do,
right.
and she did prove them wrong. And I like that story arc, but I kind of wish she would have had a bit more of an input to the main story rather than just being this bad guy's henchman. That's basically what she was.
Mm.
But I can't remember who controlled it. Was it the bad Regina? Was it what was it, bad Regina? I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay. Hades. They said Hades heard it.
I'm not gonna say Hades heard it, but he was so underwhelmed, and they got such a great actor to play the guy.
Yeah.
He if there was anybody that did not do a damn thing, it was him. He did. You are the ruler of hell. There's no reason these people should have been running around hell the way they were. Like he,
I mean, that was his animated one was. It was like.
yeah, he did not give up the vibe of Hades. Yes, like he did do some of the things that most of the bad guys in the series do. They talk, they try to manipulate, they try to make deals. They don't do much, which is why Regina was much different than the rest of them because she acted, she killed, she was ruthless. He's Hades.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand some of his motivations. The romance with Zelina's character. You know what I think that is? I think that might be the AC. Well,
Okay.
we'll check
Anyway,
it out.
they said he wasn't quite as lively as his animated
No,
counterpart.
he was not. But like I said, they got a great, fantastic guy to play him, and he just didn't do anything.
They said his blue hair. I think I remember some when he did the blue hair thing. I don't know. I don't remember too much.
I remember it, but it wasn't like it wasn't it wasn't intimidating. Like he would do it like once every like 2 episodes.
Should have been like that. You know, the dude from Buffy.
I don't know.
Okay.
But but with his character, they definitely should have done more. And the whole thing where he was kind of being like a sympathetic bad guy,
Yeah.
they
Dude,
should have
you
just
Hades. Like
yeah.
can you be good?
I could say you being liking someone, but it's like you're Hades, dude. You should if it was like a power move you were trying to do to up Zeus, yeah, that's what he should have. Everything that he should have been doing should have been him trying to take over Olympus, which would have given Hercules more of a role in the damn series, as well as Zeus and the other guys.
Mm.
But his thing was like love, and I was like, that's one time y'all put love into it, y'all should just took it out. So he was completely underwhelming.
Well, they said this helped. They didn't say it saved or hurt it, but they said this helped. It's Elsa and Anna.
Loved them. Loved the story. I love the relationship between the two characters. I love the exposition of their story. I love the exposition of like the origins of her powers and their family. Like
Mm-hmm.
they did. That was one of the best story arcs of the entire series to me.
Ooh, do tell.
Yeah, do tell Raphael. Yeah. And yes, yeah, I'm going to keep saying it because I'm stupid. I've said it so many times, I don't care.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, did that hurt it?
My thing with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is this. I like Dr. Jekyll, no, Mr. Hyde. The problem with that was he didn't do enough. When they showed that he was immune to magic,
Mm-hmm.
that should have made him a credible threat.
Yes.
But the whole thing where, what was it?
He was locked up.
Mr. Gold using the force on him and stuff to choke him. It's like, oh, go back to him being immune to magic. Make him a credible threat to not only people that aren't magic users, but people that are. Why did you do that? Because that one upped it. That's it. That after they did that to him, that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did not like that. And again, his character was doing all of this, like trying to manipulate. No, after you established that he had that physical strength, he should have been a physical force for everybody to have to deal with. That's where they messed up at. And yes, they did the whole thing where they said Dr. Jekyll isn't as innocent as he seems. But I was like, no, because you could have you took the shine from Mr. Hyde.
True. And they didn't. What other characters did they show from the Land of Untold Stories? With Frankenstein?
No, Frankenstein was like in the first season.
Okay, but yeah, that was it. They popped him in there and then popped him right back out. Not really much to go on. I guess she helped.
I like, yeah, they're talking about Ariel. I liked Ariel. Again, she was one of those kind of supporting characters that never actually got a full good story arc. Like you never seen her and Ursula go at it. In fact, I don't think you ever seen them in the same scene together.
She is Ursula. Ooh.
Nah, the chick with the bad wig was Ursula.
I knew that.
I'm messing with you. But like I thought she was really good too. I thought she was really good too.
Wow, we're just talking about him.
Blaine.
That's what. Victor Frankenstein.
I liked his character, but again, he did not get the shine they deserved. Yes, they did the story arc with him and everything, but they really don't do anything else with it.
There are a lot of characters who don't get get much on there. It's just like you have 7 seasons and you want more. I mean, you can make more, but make them good, like you say.
The problem is when you make something like this, you have to keep the stories consistent. You have to keep everything that's entangled on the right path, otherwise things get messed up. The problem with this is they're not only they did a great job of making everything connect with the storytelling and everything. The problem is they keep trying to they keep repeating they keep trying to focus on the same characters.
Yeah, something that all goes back to either Rumple, the Queen, Snow, and Charming.
Yeah, and it takes away from, and even though they're in the stories, it does take away from those other characters.
Like Rumple is everywhere though. He was everywhere.
Yes. But Victor Frankenstein, I don't think he heard it. It just, like his character probably should have popped in with the Land, the Untold Stories.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Maleficent, they said that helped.
I liked her character. I think that she was underplayed too.
Because after she found her daughter, they dipped.
And I'm like, you are supposed to be one of like the baddest witches. We didn't get like the only thing she kept doing was what turn into the dragon. But I'm like, that should be a moment where her and Regina took the gloves off, got to like a really cool magical battle or something, or even had a stronger developing arc because she, of course, she ends up turning out to be a sympathetic character
Yeah, because
herself,
of what Snow and Charming did.
which was never resolved.
That's what I'm saying. And then like the her daughter, she knew all about it.
And then, and this another thing, she with Maleficent being as badass as she was, I would have liked Maleficent to taking on the evil queen, like try to pick up from the reins of the evil queen or something, or try to do this thing where she's like, okay, I'm going to take over the kingdom and I'm going to take my armies and rule over the land, and they would have to try to stop her
Ooh.
because she's supposed to be that badass, but they didn't. They didn't go with that. No, I'm like,
It was
really?
like the whole thing was like she had it out so much for Snow White and Charming, but after she found her daughter, that was it.
I mean, I didn't mind that, but it goes back to what I said about the bad guys. The bad guys, they just don't. They're not like ambitious or anything. I'm like, again, Regina is the only villain that's actually out there doing stuff.
Mm.
Like she had an army, she was out there just pillaging the land and stuff.
Like really?
Like Maleficent should have been like, you know what? Like when she teamed up with Rumpel, Cruella, and Ursula, it shouldn't have been that. It should have been like Rumpel was the strongest one out of them, so they was following his lead. No, it should have been Maleficent, Rumpel on the same level, and Maleficent being like, okay, I'm coming to you with the proposal, but you know you ain't gonna be able to stiff me on this one because I can handle this. That's where they should have went with that. So who's the next ones?
Aladdin and Jasmine, they said it hurt it.
Yes, it really did. Look, everybody likes. I wanted to see Aladdin. I'm not gonna say the casting was bad for the characters. 'Cause I think they did a great casting for them. Problem is, it really wasn't like. Because even with Jafar, like all three of them were cast perfectly, but it didn't really have anything interesting to do with Storybrooke.
No, because
See, well, that's they even said they played a small role in Storybrooke, but ultimately they didn't do much to affect things. True, they didn't do nothing.
because she wanted to go back to Agrabah. So, and she needed what, Aladdin? So she was only after Aladdin for his lamp.
And then it'll go back. It'll go back to what I just said about the villains. If the if Jafar took over Agrabah and Agrabah was trying to invade Storybrooke, then them two would have
He's
played.
got such great ideas.
I mean, like I said, I understand the shows like on a budget and they're trying to stick with
Budget
certain
hell.
things, but it's like you cannot bring these characters in and not really do too much. Another iZombie character.
Did not notice that.
So another character that helped out the story, and you know to go back to what I was saying about Jasmine and what's his face, Street Rat. Yeah, they could have been done a little bit better. But we're talking about Tinkerbell here. Olivia Moore from iZombie. She was one of my favorite characters too. I really enjoyed her character. I wish she would have got more to do, had more to do, because she did have an arc concerning the Queen, as well as I think an arc concerning she did have an arc concerning Peter Pan too. But I really enjoyed her character. I thought she was fun. I thought she was lively. I thought she did a great job, and she even had her own little story where she's kind of a victim too. And yes, yeah. See, like right there said, Tinkerbell wasn't exactly useful when the Storybrooke team were trapped on Lost Boys Island, which she really wasn't. But it goes back to what I just said. She was good when it came to a relationship. What happened to Regina's character?
Right.
I really wish they kind of would have played up their relationship a little bit more too. like later on down the line.
Because she pushed Regina to go there and meet Robin, even though she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So I did like her.
okay. Jafar, they said it actually hurt to, bring him in as a character.
Yeah, I admit, like I said, I like the dude that they got to play him. I think he did it. Like I think he was really cool. But the problem, you're right, he wasn't menacing. Like what cool thing did he do? I mean, he turned somebody into a staff, but that wasn't interesting. Like
Right.
if he wasn't, I would like Jafar's one of those characters that he has to have personality, but he has to be like kind of
Just
just
like they
evil for the sake
said,
of being evil.
just like they said with Hades. They're like, yeah, his animated character was good, and Jafar's animated character was good. But when it come on to the live screen, I mean, live action, they kind of dumbed it down. They said the only thing his worked was him getting trapped in the bottle. Like,
But this is what would have made his character so much better. Made him a bit more like fleshed out his personality a little bit more because like again, Jafar the animated series. Agree? Tell me if you agree with this. He had an interesting personality because he was suave, he was charismatic, and but at the same time, the dude was kind of a dick. He was, you know what I'm saying, very selfish.
did he try to get Jasmine in this?
And this one,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. But that's just the thing. He didn't have that charisma. He didn't have that suaveness to his character. He didn't also.
And no.
Yep, she was completely useless. But who the hell is that?
That's, no, we hadn't done that one yet.
Oh,
Beyond ourselves.
season 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But
Alright, so was
but yes, and like I like Jafar's character. The problem was he just didn't have that personality. Jafar should be something like Loki from the event, like MCU. That's how Jafar's character should be. Except he's supposed to be badass. Not like Loki, but he's not badass. But he does have a lot of great personality. He has that threatening feel to him, like he's just crazy. That's what he lacked. But it's like, come on, now you Jafar. You're supposed to mess some stuff up, shoot people with your thing, and set them on fire if they disobey you. You know, you know what I mean. And it goes back to what I was saying. He's the ruler of Jafar. What the hell is he doing with that power? Nothing. He's sitting over here fawning over Jasmine, giving her a choice. No, you can get locked up in the with the lions and stuff if you say no. I ain't threatening nobody.
all right.
But so far, I'm about 50-50.
So okay, I guess it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Could have done a little bit better though.
But yeah, like Hook, by a 3-headed dog. Well, like you got super strength. How do you get killed by a 3-headed dog? And the dog was not that big. The dog in the animated movie was bigger. The dog in the animated movie was like the size of a house. This dog was damn near big as this table. Then how they killed the dog was stupid. They all stabbed him in the head. Stabbing him. Like you Hercules, you should say, put him down. Is there anybody else in the series that you thought possibly would have heard it? What about,
With the Black Fairy?
she was a weak character. She was a weak character. I like the motivation. I like what got her started, but she didn't do anything either. And the whole thing where she basically enacted the curse that Regina did was dumb. They could have did something better.
Yeah,
with that.
because all that time I'm thinking, what, she got the curse from, and that's what started it. But no, it was a character you don't see until the very end that did all of this, and so no.
There, like that was one of them.
Like you mentioned, Ursula.
Ursula did not have nothing to do, and her powers are stupid. All she had was a tentacle.
Yeah, and then it turns out if she was the one that you know who somebody took her singing voice and she got it back.
Her dad.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden she broke out in song. And
No, no,
shit.
no, no, no. Hook did it, but he gave it to her dad.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm like.
Like she didn't do anything. Who else didn't do anything?
I did kind of like the Blue Fairy though.
She didn't do much either. I like the Blue Fairy, but I'm like, you're supposed to be one of the most powerful magic users.
Okay. She was kind of weak, but then after the nun thing, it was all right. But the Blue Fairy, no.
No, she sucked.
Well, we both have.
What was the guy? Merlin sucked. When he came up on the scene, I said, this boy's gonna mess some stuff up. That's what I'm talking about.
He came up on there dressed to the T.
That boy came up in there with the Armani wardrobe on.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him one.
That boy's there. He had the little rings on his fingers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was new money. And then he didn't do nothing but die.
And so what about the first black one? I can't remember her.
I liked her. Because she actually had, like, personality.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Searching for the Holy Grail.
What I didn't like was, like, they brought her back. And before they all got absorbed into one. I'm like, no. What should happen was she got brought back. And they had to deal with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because she seemed like she was ruthless.
Right. They all got absorbed into one, and they all got absorbed into Rumple. God.
Yeah. It should be like, nah. She should have all absorbed and brought her back, and they all had to deal with her. You know what I'm saying? Who else was another weak ass character? I can't even think right now. But anyways, guys, we're gonna probably come back and talk more about characters later on. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna probably come back and come up with our own list.
Hails, yes.
But anyways, guys, in the comment section below, let us know what you thought about, our thoughts as well as the post about the characters that hurt and helped the series of Once Upon a Time. Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what's going on this channel. And be sure to stay tuned next week for more videos because we are rocking and we are rolling. So without further ado, we'll definitely catch you guys later. Narik and crew.